And hello everyone, I am CMG reporter 每月一二江, and now we are about 48 kilometers southwest to Zhaosu County of Eely. And there will be some local customs festival here to be held. And through our camera, it is visible that it is snowing and elsewhere. Particularly in southern China, it's already the season of blossoming, but now at the foothill of Tianshan Mountain in Xinjiang, it's still snow-capped. That's quite a scene of winter, but still we feel the signs of spring. Why? Because on this pasture, which is covered by snow, we don't feel cold. So it's about to turn spring. So even if it's snowing, it's spring snow. It easily melts once hitting at the ground. And today we're going to bring you some interesting activities. All the athletes are getting ready. And later on, we are going to show you a lot of horse riding activities. And there will be 3 activities this afternoon. The first one is called the girls chasing after. And the second one is the horse riding competition. And the third one is about catching sheep. You must have experienced those 3. So how do you feel about it? I'm not proficient in horse riding, not as good as you, but in Kazak ethnicity, the local people grew up riding the horse. So today this activity is about embracing the spring on the grassland. And most of those athletes are local farmers. Since they were young, they learned how to ride a horse, maybe starting from their infant years. And do you know that some horses already start running? Why? Not that I know of. Because the snow is starting to melt and those horses have been kept indoors for so long, so they are eager to run outdoors. So as you can see, those horses are enjoying the running despite the snow. So the activities already start warm up. So let's have an immersive experience of this competition. So the first activity is about catching the sheep. And you can see the girls chasing after the horses. Could you please introduce more? For the first activity, this is a local Kazakh ethnic activity, and particularly it represents the spirit of falling in love voluntarily. There will be a pair competing against another one. Each pair is composed of 1 girl and 1 boy. From the starting line, they will run towards the finishing line. And in the first round, it's the boy chasing after the girl. And in this process, they can have some funny talks and also have some interaction with the girl. And if the girl favors the boy, then she will give some response. For example, she warps up and hit the horse, which means I like you. But when they come back, if the girl doesn't like the boy, maybe she hits harder at the horse of the boy. So that's quite an interesting activity. But according to my knowledge, in early history, there used to be very few means of interaction, particularly with the other gender. So be it in the township or in the pasture or in the downtown area, people are leading a modern life. So such a scene is seldomly seen in the modern era. But that's still a traditional way of getting along. And right now, it is already an important intangible cultural heritage. And last year, it was already listed as the national level intangible cultural heritage in Eely, and everyone can participate in this activity, whether you are married or not. And it's something to appreciate as even a spectator. And we also learned that for those girls riding on the horse, what's it about? What's the history about this activity? And interestingly, the herdsman has a different way of expressing their love to one another. So maybe that's why they choose the way of hitting the horse with their lashes. The harder you lash at the horse, maybe it means that I don't like you. But if you lash very gently, that means I fancy you. So that's quite an interesting decision. And we also learned just now that right now, now we can see the horse riding competition going on. And could you please introduce something about this activity? Look at those guys wearing red. They are running very fast. I did my homework, and I learned that every horse runs about 40 to 60 kilometers per hour on average. That's almost the extreme speed. And if you look at those men wearing red, they come from the Zhaosu County local team. And they are getting ready for the second round of competition. Our cameraman will follow their steps. Could you introduce yourself? I'm a practitioner of the horse riding skills. I am a coach. My name is Wu Jun. So could you please introduce that? What's the main performance of your horse riding teams? We were founded in 2014, and it's about 8 years' time. So I would love to know that before those practitioners undertook this job, what did they do? After their graduation, they were waiting for job hunting, but I know that they must be proficient in horse riding. Of course, after some professional training procedure, there will be some official work assigned to them. Now I see some of your team members riding the horse. Could you teach us about the movements? For example, because of the weather conditions, many of the moves cannot be accomplished. Some very difficult moves are limited by the snow, and those are all the youngsters living on this skill of equestrian. They are our employees, and they also can enjoy some social insurance programs. And they live on performing equestrian. And Mr. Wu, as far as I know, those equestrians were discovered in the, for example, township level or village level competition games. Yes, we chose them based on their physical skills, their strength, their knowledge of equestrian, and after some professional training, we enrolled them into our team. And we also learned that for all of those horses who once participated in horse riding competition differ from the others. They value more. Of course, there is a huge difference. Those horses once competed are priced higher. They were recognized by this market, and they are sometimes reputational. So they are coined at a bigger price. Those horses will go through some training process and prepare for the competition. So with the introduction of Mr. Wu Jun, I realized that this county has a strong atmosphere and tradition of horse training. And also, with the higher value of those trained horses, the local herdsmen will have more enthusiasm for keeping the horses and training the horses. And also, could you please share with us the highest price of the Eely horses? There is a horse named Xiao Heifeng. I've heard about him. It's very famous. Now, it's worth 1.5 million. What about the average price? For example, the horses for just herding, 20 to 30,000. So that's a big difference. Obviously, that's why the local people are so enthusiastic about those athletic games, and in the surroundings, the horse riding competitions are welcome. Indeed, that's true. In Eely Prefecture, starting from this season until the end of winter, there are continuous competition of horse riding. And with Coach Wu's introduction, I am aware about the culture of horse keeping in northern part of Xinjiang. And horse is taken not only as a transportation means anymore as before. It is very valuable in the sense of the market. And also, I learned from the village chief of Nuerxiang village, these horses started running until summer. So it's like starting from this season, the horses will warm up themselves and exercise. It's just like us keeping fit in the fitness clubs. And Mr. Su, just look at your belly, start your exercises just like those horses. And to put it in a word, the horses start running from this moment when the spring snow is falling down, and they keep running until autumn because the horses love running. And according to Coach Wu, these horses will turn only better with their exercises. And since July, the high season of tourism, the horses will run the fastest after several months of training, and they are able to showcase their skills to people from around this country. And according to our knowledge, the Eely horse riding industry is booming. And after these days of talks, I've been engaged with the locals. Some people keep the horses, some sell Eely horses to nationwide markets. I realized that in Eely Autonomous Prefecture, those horse farms are changing themselves. Previously, horses were taken as a transportation means for the herdsmen, but right now they are so valuable. And I don't know if you pay attention to this morning news in CCTV, and this morning Mr. Su had another live streaming. And right now, this is the transformation season for these farms. Many of those horses have to be moved to the spring pasture. Could you please share more about this morning's live show? This morning, I was in a pasture, in a prairie in Zhaosu County. About 1,000 local Eely horses were moving their location. Previously, they only make some movements within a limited size of pasture, and now they will move to another position, and they were so enthusiastic about this change. And I was back then on the side of this live stream. I saw a leader of all of those 1,000 horses, and all the others follow it. That was quite overwhelming. And last July, I was already here in Zhaosu County. I paid my visit to the prairie of Zhaosu. So you were here for this festival of Pegasus? Yes. Many counties in Eely Prefecture will hold such tourism-related activities relevant to the horses. And it's called the Festival of Pegasus. Why is the Festival of Pegasus so charming because on that day, a lot of horse livers from around the nation will come here to see tens of thousands of horses running together. So that's even more sensational than this morning, of course. Because in July, the horses are the strongest. They grow fatter, and there are a lot more horses being born in that season. In addition to seeing the 10,000 horses galloping, I have another impression about one horse-related activity. It is a local performance, quite unique, because Zhaosu County is located at the foothill of Tianshan Mountain. It is boasting abundant water contents, and there is a river next to the county. So they will chase the horses to the river, and those horses will run in the river. So in the hot summer, tens of thousands of the Pegasus will run in the water. They will test the waters, and I feel the beauty of nature. So Eely horses are very appealing. We invite you to be here yourself. Just now, we introduced a lot of cultural and tourism industries of local horsekeeping, but not just that. In Xinjiang, we are exploring the advantages of local horse industry, and also we are developing some improved horses. We also have some deep processing industry. Days ago, we had another interview. For example, we have soap, and also we made some makeups based on the horse industry. I was stunned. So we did learn that there are a lot of treasures to discover from a horse. And last year, if you look at the stock volume, Zhaosu County had a stock of 120,000 horses. So Zhaosu County has rich supply of the horse-related products. Yes, indeed. And we sell to the whole country and even to South Korea and Japan, particularly in the field of costumes, cosmetics. And as you learned, there are some valuable parts sold on the horse. Do you know which one is more pricey in addition to the milk? What is that? I learned something. And I learned that the most expensive thing about a horse is about the pregnant horses' urine. Why is that? That's because the pregnant horse's urine will contain some progesterone and also estrogens. So starting from the keeping, they will work together with some cooperatives. And in the wintertime, there will be some pregnant horses, and there will be some professional means to collect the pregnant horse's urine. And do you know what is the price of the urine? If they distill some hormone levels from the urine, it's certainly very pricey. May I ask about 1 kilogram of milk? 5 to 7 RMB yuan for every kilogram of milk of horse. So maybe 6 for 1 kilogram. But for the urine, 1 kilogram of the pregnant horse's urine is sold at 4. Half a kilogram, sorry. So it's sold at 4. So it's more pricier than the milk. We can conclude that the horse industry is paving the way for the local economy. And if we look afar, we can see some drones following those horses. That's the activity of catching the sheep. Many ethnicities have this activity. For example, in Uygur, Tatar ethnic people have this activity. It's quite a competitive activity, and there will be some conflicts. Through our camera on the drone, you can have some feeling about it. I don't know how is the situation right now. I see that the male herdsmen are fighting against each other for a sheep. So mainly the participants are the young male herdsmen because they're stronger. And riding on the horse, just like Coach Wu said, every household has their own horse, so they ride on their best horse for this competition and run freely on this prairie. Finally, they catch this sheep and get recognition from the other competitors. That's quite an honor. Like Coach Wu Jun said, maybe that winner will be enrolled into his team. Now, this activity is still going on fiercely. When will it last? Sometimes it lasts 1 to 2 hours. So it's quite demanding physically. If our viewers are proficient in horse riding, we recommend you to tour around Zhaosu County. Have a first-hand experience of this activity. Thank you. Mr. Su, through these games, we introduce the whole horse industry in Eely and the market value of this industry. Could you please share with us about some numbers? For example, what is the actual level of the industry and what is the prospect of this industry? The development of this horse industry has become a pillar industry of the nomadic lifestyle in Eely. We once learned about the good taste and good sales of lamb in Xinjiang. We know that Xinjiang boasts a vast land of prairie and the grassland industry, but now we learn more about the horse keeping industry. Speaking of the market value of the horses, there will be a complete industrial chain, and as a local in Xinjiang, we are overwhelmed by its fast growth. Take Zhaosu County as an example. This year, they set a goal of over 600 million RMB yuan for the output of horse industry. If we calculate by the number of population, which is about 180,000 people living here, so everyone will get at least 3,000 RMB yuan. And we make some new friends lately. Some of them are in the post of breeding horses, some are the tradesmen, and some are the competitors. Some are making the horse-related products like the cosmetics. Some are selling the urine of the horses to the pharmaceutical companies. So there are a list of choices here in the industry. And Zhaosu County may be just an example and a miniature of Xinjiang horse industry. The Xinjiang local government has published a 2030 plan for the horse industry. By 2030, which is 8 years' time, the horse industry will value at 22 billion RMB yuan in Xinjiang. That's an ambitious target. So even though in our show right now it's still snowing, the local herdsmen are quite passionate. Their passion for this activity is never undermined by this weather. And with the data we just introduced, I believe that in the process of keeping the horses, the local herdsmen are happy with it, and the spring is around the corner. So I think the pastures spring is coming along as well. Good for the local economy. So we welcome you to pay attention to these games in this prairie. And through these games, we learn more about the horse industry in Zhaosu County and in Xinjiang. It's quite a promising industry because Zhaosu is a good example. So thank you, everyone. See you next time. Welcome to enjoy our horse games and tour around Xinjiang. Those trained horses are waiting for you in summertime. See you.